Saint Croix. I don't really know how to pronounce this. It's French. Here's straight from the Gran Turismo website. This is an original track themed on the Saint Croix Lake, which actually exists in the province region of southern France. The long, nearly 10-kilometer course has various branches, and it's possible to select from 3 different layouts labeled A, B, and C. The track contains corners comprised of geometric shapes such as 90-degree and radial corners. There's also a reverse layout to each layout. And that's where we're racing today. It's daily race B, but this was actually on Sunday in a lobby. I've been trying to improve my daily race performance, see if I can get my DR up to an A+. I'm sitting at an A right now, right in the middle of it. I've never really been close to A+, and I'm going to do a video series on that probably very soon. But I found a multiplayer lobby with a host in Hungary, and with a very long stall before the start of the race there. I thought the international lag might be a problem, but it actually, to my surprise, wasn't too bad. But as we start the race, and actually right before we start the race, Sam Soda pulls a David Blaine, vanishes into thin air, resulting in a world record for the quickest overtake. Actually a negative time, so maybe there's the secret to time travel is in there somewhere. I'm in the Alfa Romeo 155 all-wheel drive. I had really not done any testing. And as we approach turn 2 or 3, because I didn't memorize all the numbers, I'm cutting this corner much like I cut corners the one time I ran a half marathon. You got to shorten that course, people. So between Sam Soda disappearing and that overtake through the corner, find myself in P4, chasing down another Alfa Romeo, it looks like, and a couple of GTRs maybe up there. I don't know, they're too far away for me to see. This is a very long course, and I almost shied away from this because it's so long and has a billion turns in it. There we go. We've got a couple Alphas in front and a GTR leading the pack there. Ooh, a little bump on the wall, but survives. Can I get a move done here? Because I know he did not get a great exit. Hard on the brakes there. And again, cutting that corner. I really tried to make that a focus of learning this track. It's getting over those curbs and helping straighten that track out. Very, very long stretch of road here. I mean, this thing is, it feels like it's 17 miles long. It's probably not. I didn't do that kilometer to mile conversion, so I guess it could be. Probably isn't, though. This is a tricky little chicane. You really want to set yourself up for the exit on here and cut over both of those curbs. Get up to 5th gear here, hammering the brakes and getting this hairpin done. Lots of weird off-camber turns and bumps on this track. Does make it interesting. So braking hard before that 50-meter board, getting nice and tight to the inside, but on that time I did not go over that curb. It does upset the car if you do that. There's also a bump in the middle of that turn. I got to catch up to these guys, and as we come up to this weird chicane, hard on the brakes at those triangles. I mean, you are just slamming them with the force of 1,000 suns. Carefully getting out there, again, setting yourself up for the exit, and then it's all about where you're setting your car here. You really want to be able to get on that curb, although I think I've really apexed it a bit and it sent me wide. But I guess I got it good enough to close in on these guys. You also want to get a little bit closer to the inside when you make that left. At any rate, I got a pretty decent run here, and I am chasing down Baron. Can I get a move done here? I decide, no, let's not dive bomb him. I was also a little concerned about lag in an international lobby. I wanted to make sure if I was going to make a move here that it was nice and clear. So as we're going down this straight, he's got slipstream, but I had enough slipstream to get momentum, so hard on the brakes at that 100-meter board. and trying to cut over, but because I stayed inside, it compromised the racing line, and now Baron has come right back at me on the inside. But if I can maintain it here, I'm on the inside for this left-hander, so I do make that work. Again over that curb, and find myself in P2, and not too far away from Bohawk. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly either. Another international name. I think that's Hungary. I'm not actually sure. No offense intended to the international community with my typical American lack of knowledge of international matters. Decent exit here. Not really closing yet, but keeping up with him. Hard on the brakes there at the curb. I probably can go a little bit later. Still learning this track, and this really was all practice. So I had spent maybe 45 minutes learning this track on my own, maybe not quite that much, and then decided to try to find a lobby so I could get some practice in with other drivers and make sure that the conditions were correct in the lobby rather than my custom solo races. Here we go, down this long stretch again. It's only a 2-lap race, which, with a nearly 3.5-minute lap time, I guess makes sense for a daily race. I would have preferred 3 laps. However, they don't really ask my opinion on that. I get through here okay, maintained good speed, but the line was a little screwy. And I'm very aware now that I've got Baron right behind me, so trying to go a little bit defensive there and make sure he can't get back around me. And I kind of clipped that curb that time. You do have to be careful, because between that curb and the bump that's in there, you can go flying. Not too bad in these Gr4 cars, but I know in Gr3 cars, that area can send you flying into the barrier. Hard on the brakes again at that triangle, trying to cut over that white line into the green. Definitely cut that curb. It's like clunk over it. Get a good exit here. Is it enough to get him for that next turn? I see a little tap of the brakes, and that gives me a little optimism. Can I make it happen here? No, I can't, but I get a better line through there and a much better exit. Trying to stay in his slipstream and set him up. Honestly, I was trying to fake him out here by going left, but he doesn't go left. He's staying defensive. So I go back to the normal racing line, and let's see if we can pull the old switcheroo. I get an excellent exit there. I thought I might clip him, but somehow there is no contact, and it is a victory. Amazing. Super fun race. Super fun lobby. The host did a great job. Let's take a look at this in slow motion again. This is how close it was. Closer than Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. So approximately half a pixel between our cars, and that is enough to do it. Had a great time racing with these guys in an international lobby that frankly I thought the lag would be a problem, and it really wasn't. This set me up to practice for the official Daily Race B this week, and I did work on my qualifying time. I switched over to the GT4, which seems to be the faster car, at least for me, and that's where I will be the rest of the week, working on improving that driver rating. If you dug this video, you might like one of these.